Hey guys, welcome back to Whisky411. So this is part of a new series that I've decided to add called the Newb series, the Whiskey for Noobs, as it were. So what we're going to cover is just different things that maybe you don't know, maybe you've wondered, maybe you're brand new and you just don't want to ask. Of course, saying that, always acknowledging that there are no stupid questions, just questions asked in a stupid way. So, no, I'm just So anyway, there are several different types of glasses. As you can see, I've got a few up here on the Lazy Susan. We've got the Rocks glass. We've got the standard issue Cairn glass. Um, got a another Rocks glass. Got the dark Cairn, the Copita, and the wee Cairn. Now, obviously, there are variations on this. There's a lot of different varieties and things you can choose depending on what you're doing, what you're trying to drink, what kind of cocktail you're having, and so on. The reason I select these is these are probably the most common nosing, tasting, and general drinking glasses that you'll most often come in contact with. So let's start with the simple one, the standard Cairn right here. So this one, they're usually about 6 ounce glasses, I believe. I'd have to check on that to be sure, but they're 4 to 6 ounces is what they hold. They're the industry standard at a lot of your distilleries, at a lot of drinking venues, and at a lot of events. You'll just run into the standard classic Glencairn glass. It's got this nice bulb shape leading into a chimney that helps direct the fumes up into your nose so that you can get a better sense of what you're smelling. And in theory, that smell, that ability to smell that better will help enhance the flavor as well, and your ability to recognize some of the flavor as well. So it's a really good option. It's pretty easy to handle. It's got the little knob at the bottom, which is kind of nice. The downside is if you get your hands on it, you will warm up your whiskey. So if you're not a fan of that, something to be careful about. Now, the benefit of if you do warm up your glass is as you warm up that glass, the alcohol is going to vaporize a bit more, and you're going to get more of the smell and more of the kind of that sensory experience than you might if it was colder. Your mileage may vary. You got to kind of decide what's right for you on that. So that is the classic Glencairn. So the next one is the wee. The wee is exactly what it sounds like. It is a small version of the standard. This one's from Iron Root. They're run about $10 a piece. Standard ones run around $10 a piece as well, just depending on where you're going and what the market is right now. It's been a while. So why would you want the wee? Well, I find that the wee is perfect if you're doing tastings. So like for what I do here, or if we're just trying to have small amounts and really see if we can get nuance. It's a really nice glass for really concentrating that smell and those flavors and just getting it all tucked in. Now these I think hold about 2 to 3 ounces total, about 1.5 ounces in the bulb, I would say, maybe 2 ounces in the bulb. So kind of good for portion control too, which is kind of nice. I like that. But once again, it is a smaller glass. It may not be the right glass for socializing, for having an actual social gathering or event. But it has its place, and it's important if you can afford to have a few of these around, especially while doing some tastings and comparisons. They're pretty convenient, pretty cool. So the next is the rocks glass. This is a Canadian rocks glass, is what this is kind of called. So this is designed so that you can put a big ass ball of ice in there. It's also, I found it's really great for a cocktail glass. I've poured many a whiskey and coke into this, varying strengths and varieties. This is my Whiskey Tribe version. It's got the Whiskey Tribe toast on the bottom, but they're available from various places. But a nice kind of unusual glass, a unique glass, still gives you that tulip shape that helps direct the flow and direct that nose. So that's really helpful. It's still what I would classify as kind of a tasting glass. but maybe more of a hybrid. So, so I'm sure a lot of you wonder why I have the gold Glencairns, other than the fact that gold was the cheapest color at the time when I bought them. That's partly why they're gold. The other reason being is that if you want to compare multiple, do a blind taste of multiple whiskeys by yourself, all you have to do is pop a sticker on there, pop a sticker on your bottle, for example, and then go ahead and set them up, mix them up, put them on a Lazy Susan, spin them around, whatever you want to do to help mix them up. But it helps so that you can't see the color. You can't tell what color that whiskey is. I mean, it's not completely opaque, but it's opaque enough that the most I'm going to be able to really tell is how much is in there. I'm not going to be able to tell what color it is or anything else, so it's not going to give anything away. And that's really important if you're trying to do a blind tasting, because we're trying to play find the whiskey, as in, you know, pick out this one whiskey out of these four, for example. It's a really cool way to do that is, or do it by yourself or with a friend, either way, is if you can't see the difference, you have to rely strictly on your nose and your sense of taste. You can't. It eliminates your sense of your eyesight from the equation, and so that adds a little factor, makes a little bit of a difference. So that's why I have those. And of course, we've got the standard issue rocks glass. Also, this one I've put an iron root tag on. Marcia Licorice gave me the idea because I really love this tab. This is on their newer bottles that they come out with this year due to the shortage of bottles. So they changed their design. They went with this as their new logo. She was kind enough to give me one. I bought the glass from her, and we put that on it. And I have an iron root rocks glass. Pretty cool. So obviously that's a standard drinking glass. That's more for, you know, whiskey and coke, cocktails, Manhattans, old fashions, things like that. Is going to be that's going to be your glass of choice for that, probably. So just something to have on the shelf, have available. And last but not least, I've got the Copita, which is effectively it's similar to a Glencairn. It's somewhere between a Glencairn and a whiskey and a wine glass, but it has the same general effect. Is you still have the bulb shape, and it still comes to a point and still directs the fumes in the and the nose at your nose. Unlike wine, it's nosed and tasted in a very similar fashion. So this has the added benefit of you can hold it down here with your fingers and it doesn't get warm on you. So that's maybe if you have that problem, like I'm a slow drinker sometimes, this might be more your speed. This one I got from Balcones. I believe I don't have a number on how much these were at the time, I don't think. But you can get these various places online. I just like to buy things, obviously, from the distilleries. I like to support the distilleries when I'm there because I like to, you know, I want them to keep making the products that I enjoy. So that's that. So I do want to keep this short. So what are we coming up on? Almost 10 minutes now. So we're going to cut this a little bit shorter. Hopefully this gives you an idea of what you might be looking for in glasses. Yeah, there are other options out there. You have the New Orleans glass, which is a special variety of Glencairn glass and so on. But I would say that if you have 4 of these or any of these types, any of the Glencairn shapes, and then one of the other either hybrid or drinking glass types, you'll be good to go for pretty much all your general whiskey adventures. If you're trying to do blind tastings, I highly recommend colored Glencairns just because of the simplicity. They're not really much more expensive than your standard clear Glencairn, so you know, you might just get a mix of both, and they're available in like 6 or 7 different colors. Alright, so that probably answers everything you have never wanted to know about glasses for right now. We will be doing more of these. We'll be adding on and doing more Whiskey Newb stuff and helping you. If you have questions or have something you want to see, drop it down in the comments below. Let me know so that I can prepare and get something like that out for you. In the meantime, please click like and subscribe. If you really like our content, please check us out on Patreon. Join us there. We do have some behind the scenes stuff that we do there. We do have some different giveaways and things like that we do. So please check us out. In the meantime, between now and then, I want to just thank you again for joining us here at Whisky411, and we'll see you later. Cheers.